Temperature still around about 30 degrees locally here, just on 3:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It's a warm one, as we understand. No drinks break for the players midway through the half, so it will be testing for the lineups to pretty much full-strength lineups for both clubs as well here this afternoon. Catch made by Sharp, and it's Saifidi, Jacob that is, who brings it back out to get things underway for the Newcastle Knights. An apology off the kickoff here. We have an issue. Maybe it's the heat with our graphics unit for the time being. So we'll keep you updated as to the score and tackles, all the usual stuff on screen throughout this opening exchange between the two clubs. Leo Thompson, play it here for Crossland in there at the dummy half roll. A role he fielded so well last season for the Knights. As Pierce Paul plays it just short of the halfway line, Matt Croker into the starting pack, takes the place of Tyson Frizzell, who's out with a cork thigh. And Jack Cogger out there for Tyson Gamble, who Adam O'Brien told us a moment ago in our pre-game, a little bit of a nerve issue in the back, and they're taking no chances with one of their halves options here in this last day of the pre-season. There's Nwanga Nituwasi. He will play it here, 24 years of age, made his debut in the final regular season round last year against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And he's tall and athletic, 192 centimetres, 6'4" in the old money, if you like. The Siwa Wong here will play it just beyond the 40. Connor Watson, the Indigenous All-Stars team last week, went down to the Maori All-Stars. They're back in Newcastle territory. First real chance to put up some pressure here through the kicking of Chad Townsend. The much-travelled Chad Townsend throughout his NRL career. A couple of stints at the Warriors and Sharks, respectively. The Cowboys, and now the back end of his career linking up with the Roosters, and a timely linking of both player and club, given the injuries the Roosters picked up to Sam Walker in particular, as the Knights work it away. We go downstairs for the first time to Nico Paharillia.
Good afternoon, Warren, Kevy. Great to be here on a warm day on the Central Coast. 29 degrees, a dry track, hardly a cloud in the sky as we see a stoppage here. Both these clubs have obviously named what looks to be their starting NRL sides today. The fans in attendance and all our viewers at home, you should be in for a real treat here this afternoon.
Spencer Leniu is the player whistle blew for. He was left on the ground behind the play, and wouldn't be a surprise if he's coming from the field for a full HIA here in a moment. They'll do the on-field check to begin with, but we'll wait and see what happens. Did you get a look at that, Kevin?
No, I didn't. It must have been sort of in back play or after a ball had been passed, but he was definitely on the ground and couldn't sort of, took a moment to stand up. This must be the tackle here, was it?
Hang on, hold him. Spencer!
Took that carry there.
It's going to be against Spencer.
It was in the Knights' set of six as they worked it away from their own end of the field where he was left on the ground.
Okay, there's high contact here. It is moderate force direct to the head, so it's on report and sin bin.
Well, for the moment, to get the HIA, he's been sent to the sin bin for high contact. As the play continued on, that was at least one play, if not two plays earlier. Spencer Leniu looking towards the big screen saying, oh, I want to see that, because he certainly was surprised as much as anybody was that he was going to the sin bin.
Well, we never picked it up either, Warren. We're very astute judges.
We are.
We don't miss too much on the rugby league field, and we missed that one. Let's have a look here.
So it's Crossland taking it forward. And that tackle there.
Oh, yes. Got him in the chin.
It was pretty tough, Phoenix Crossland, because he was on his feet and backing up, moving to dummy half. So there was a couple of plays before the whistle blew, and now here they are, the Knights on the attack. Croker turning it on the inside for Leo Thompson, set restart as well. So just on 3 minutes gone. It's 13 versus 12. Ponga to Pierce Paul, as those long arms almost was able to reach out there. Crossland misses Cogger. Cleaned up here by Dylan Lucas, playing on that left-hand side of the field. Right in front of the uprights. Crossland comes back to Saifiti. Stuck there by Tedesco. And also Siwa Wong. They've used up 4 tackles in this set. It's Cogger. Comes to Crossland. Rather straighten here. Fletcher Sharp, that is, losing the ball as he goes to ground. It's going to be a penalty because the referee said it was going to be a set restart anyway.
Offside. You
And
interfere
they
and then
hung
you're
onto that
involved in the
ball.
tackle.
Sharp loses it.
Make sure you hold
They
for the
get
go
the full blown penalty.
Yeah, a couple of passes there from the Knights going astray, but they do look crisp. Ponga in particular on this right-hand side, parking himself out here.
Off the ball now, here.
So something of a sensation to begin the game. Lenu going to the sin bin. See how the Roosters handle that on a very, very warm afternoon. Knights just a metre away as Pierce Paul plays it there to Cogger. Thompson into almost a hole. Terrific tackle there made by Vic Radley. Flat pass. Saifiti spinning. Great ball from Crossland. Well finished by Jacob Saifiti.
Yes, nice work from the Knights, in particular their halves. Picking the right places to attack and finding the space in the Roosters' defence. Saifiti there, just around that post. It's a great area of the field to attack. Nice quick play of the ball here. And Crossland finds his man. Little spin there, bit soft from the Roosters, but nice footwork from Saifiti to spin in the tackle and get the ball over the line. That's a good start for the Knights. Not so good for the Roosters, remembering that they've got a player in the bin. So that's a try, Warren.
Angus Crichton pushing in there and beaten by the spin of Jacob Saifiti. And off the back of all that pressure, a couple of penalties in a row, set restart in there as well. And it's the Knights who came downfield, and lovely ball again by Phoenix Crossland. What a revelation he was in the 9 jersey last year. It was all hands to at various stages as Adam O'Brien rung the changes between his playmakers and the spine of his team. Spent some time in the halves. Also spent some time at dummy half to good effect. Ponga from pretty much right in front adds 2 points. We apologise again for our lack of graphics at the moment, but it is the Knights who lead the Roosters 6 points to 0. Just over 5 minutes gone here in Gosford.
And here is again from a different angle. The 2 Knights players lining up on the 1 Rooster defender, which caused some confusion in the defensive line, and he just crashes over.
So a positive beginning for the Knights, who went down to the Eels in their first game. Seems like a long time ago now. They played on the Friday night of the second week of the pre-season challenge. Ended up going down 44-18 at home, no less. And Marju playing it. Comes to Bradman Best. He's about 15 short of the halfway line here when he plays it back to Crossland. Work it forward through Dylan Lucas. That left-hand side, he's a promising young back rower. Converted centre, being a back rower now after the departure to the UK of Lachlan Fitzgibbon more than 12 months ago. And Croker here, stepping. Brings it back to the 30. Good set here off the back of points for Newcastle. Chance to put up an attacking kick until that moment there where Cogger on the last drops it as cold as you like.
Yeah, well, disappointing finish to the set. Had good field position there to put an attacking kick in. Unfortunately, just couldn't grab the ball there. But the Roosters with 12 men are going to do it tough here in the heat. Lack of possession as well. They've done a lot of defence.
So just their second touch of the ball. And we'll make it a third here off the back of a penalty. Chance to go on the attack for the first time in the game. Let's go downstairs to you, Nico.
Yeah, curious case here, guys. So I've just spoken with the NRL, and while Spencer Leniu had been sent to the sin bin for high contact in the second minute, he himself actually copped a knock in that collision. So he's also been sent for a HIA. It's a category 2. So while he will be off the field for the mandatory 10 minutes, he's also got to serve an additional 5 for the HIA.
All right. So they will be back to the full complement once his 10 minutes expires, but Spencer won't be back as quickly as that. Thank you for that, Nico. As Watson waits here at dummy half. Collins with the play the ball. And Townsend through the middle. They turn it back to almost the exact point where Wong was stopped on the previous play the ball. Now to Desco. Stepping here of Rob Toya, who's had the 2 knee reconstructions, one in 2022, one in 2023. He's played precious little football over that span, quite obviously, but given what we saw last week against the Dragons, very talented athlete. And they play it again from Lindsay Collins. It goes through Sandon Smith. Siwa Wong works it inside the 20. Good chance here. A bit of breeze to cool things down, but not too much of it this afternoon. Townsend, Smith, Tedesco, tapping it on. Marju ends up with it, flips it away. Here is Fletcher Sharp. Watch him go. An absolute flying machine. He scored tries for fun on the wing last year for Newcastle, and now he's a number 6, and he might be a number 6 to stay.
Yes, he certainly will with that sort of form early. He's a known try scorer. Beautiful play, beautiful defence from the Knights, up and in, trying to compress the Roosters' line. And it was a good decision to come out of the line and put pressure on Tedesco, and then they're away. Fletcher, well, he scored tries like this on the wing, in the centres, at fullback, and now in the 6 jumper. Got great speed to fleet away from the Roosters' defence. Nice little offload here from Marju to keep the ball alive. And there he goes down that left touchline. Nobody was going to get near him. That's a terrific start for the Knights. 2 tries in the opening minutes.
He is a talent, isn't he? Debuted in round 14 last year against the Melbourne Storm, scored on debut, and then moved back from fullback to the wing, which he had never played before. He was a half coming through the junior ranks, hails from Cessnock, the Goannas up there in the Hunter Valley, and moved to the wing for the first time in his rugby league career, and duly scored a heap of tries.
Yeah. 9
of them in 7 games on the wing. Doesn't matter where you put him.
No.
He is just a footballer, an old school footballer, great mind, great talker, a real organiser for them, which is surprising given how young he is and how little football he's played at this level of the game. He can run, as you just saw. Kalen Ponga adds 2 more points. So while Spencer Leniu has been missing, it's 13 on 12 in favour of the Knights. It's 12 points to 0. We've had just on 10 minutes here in Gosford. Watch it again, Marju. Great to stay alive there in the tackle of Dominic Young, the former Knight himself. And he just eats up the ground so easily, doesn't he, Sharp?
There's a speedster.
So they could do no more. Adam O'Brien, Blake Green, of course, much travelled NRL player throughout his career, alongside him in the coach's box. And Malone, I need to ask, he gets us back underway. And staring down the barrel here after a loss last week to the Dragons at Cogra, down 12-0, and still with around about 3 minutes remaining until it's 13 on 13, when somebody will come on in place of Spencer Leniu. Jacob Saifiti. Back within 15 of the halfway line is Leo Thompson, Cogger, now Pierce Paul. There's one-man advantage. They explore the extremities here. And Gagai stopped just back into Roosters territory. They've used up 3 tackles. Well, they're doing it nicely from their own end. The previous set as well, before they eventually scored when the Roosters had a chance. Here's Lucas. Bit of stepping. Siwa Wong got a hold of him. Connor Watson helps out. As Crossland feeds it to Ponga. Numbers down that short side. Bradman Best. They just let Dominic Young catch it. They were loath to attack the ball with bombs like that or chip kicks like that last season. Adam O'Brien's theory was just let the opposing back 3 catch it, ring them in, make sure they can't make a long run from their own end. It does rob them of a scoring chance at various stages, but very rarely do the Knights contest the high ball.
Well, I've got the Roosters on the back foot here, and safety first with that kick. Just lobbing it into the corner and make the Roosters bring the ball off their try line. Good tactic at the moment in this game.
Here's Crichton. Brings it back towards the 40. Last play for the Roosters. Getting closer to being back to 13. Another 90 seconds or thereabouts. Awkward bounce here. Tough kick. Young is wrapped up. Spins it back into Radley. Townsend's there for a second crack at it. The second one not much better than the first. Gagai plays it off the foot. That was an unbecoming end to the set of 6 for the red, white and Bluesters.
And a lucky end for them as well. That kick, that second kick off the boot, came off awkwardly. Gagai could have turned that into an attacking situation, but he elected to take the tackle and go from there.
And here is Cogger taking it to the line. We saw Nat Butcher with the card in hand. He's going to take the place of Spencer Leniu, who is still there, undergoing the HIA, his 15 minutes, but having been sin bin in the third minutes. We're back to 13 on 13 once again now. We've had just on 12.5 minutes of action. It's the Knights who lead the Roosters 12 points to 0. Crossland on the dummy half. It comes to Cogger. 6 again is the call. Massive pressure on the Roosters here to avoid going down 3 converted tries. Crossland to Cogger. Takes them on himself. He bounces towards the line, then spun onto his back. He was close to scoring. Maybe only centimetres away.
Well, he spun on his back to get the play the ball back out. Smart play there from Cogger. Just gives him a little bit more room between them and the defensive line.
Croker here. Work it towards the uprights. They're midway through this set. 3 tackles gone, 3 remaining. Crossland goes to Cogger. Flat ball there. Lucas well handled. Good stop by Victor the Inflictor out there on the right edge where he spent a fair bit of time. Victor Radley in 2024. Now a kick from Crossland. Jacob Saifidi was taken down. It'll be 13 on 12 here in a few moments' time once again.
We've got no try. Well, okay, I'm looking to confirm a professional foul here, tackling Jacob Saifidi off the ball on the kick.
Watch it again. He was on the charge. Phoenix Crossland wasn't too far away from scoring himself, but
from Newcastle.
Saifidi was going to have a golden chance here, but he was taken on suspicion there. It was
Daniel Saifidi is
Collins
the
who
lead
stopped
chaser.
him.
Nat Butcher grabs him. We're just playing on to see what happens that occurs at the end of this play.
Don't know if I could
Phoenix
say
Crossland, who comes from behind
penalty
Jacob
try, but
Saifidi,
certainly sin bin.
almost gets the ball near the try line. In our opinion, this would be a penalty try.
Cool.
We have a decision.
There you go.
You're allowed to get one wrong, Warren.
Well, they have been far more lenient as far as awarding penalty tries in recent seasons, and well, you never know what could have happened there. He could have knocked it on when he got to the ball or anything, but they'll say penalty try, and it will stay as a result. Perhaps fortunately for the Roosters, 13 on 13, but it is going to be 16, make it 18 points to 0 following the conversion from right in front by Kalen Ponga.
Yeah, and terrific work here from Phoenix Crossland. He saw Tedesco parked on that short side. He was taken out, but I'm not sure that Crossland was going to get the ball there. Or
Well, Saifidi was going to have a much better play at it than Phoenix Crossland, but he's still, you know, so much to do. Now the ball bounces up here. If he comes through, he might be thereabouts near the ball then, but he still would have had to have done what Crossland tried to do potentially. Maybe the bounce of the ball beats him, and that's why I thought it was a rather fortunate calling of a penalty try. It's the pre-season, so no points on offer, so it doesn't matter all that much, but that would be fascinating in a tight game in the regular season, a call like that.
yeah, makes it tough for the defensive team. There's Spencer getting a rest.
Either way, it was going to be tough for the Roosters. It's going to be 13 on 12. Instead, it's 18 points to 0, and we've had just over 14 minutes of action. Trent Robinson with a very concerned look on his face as he watches on. The breeze holding this kick up. Fortunately for the Knights, it bounces back towards the bullocking winger in Greg Marju as we get downstairs to Nico.
Yeah, we saw a picture there of Spencer Leniu, Warren. He has passed his HIA. He's welcome to return at any stage.
Good news on that front for both Spencer and the Roosters, as Leo Thompson lining up today with his twin brother Tyrone on the bench.
There is a bit of a breeze down there, Nico said, I think, wasn't it? Because some of the Roosters' kickoffs haven't been going too deep, and this has enabled the Knights to get good field position, like we see again now over the halfway, early in the tackles. It's last tackle now, but that's good progress from the Knights.
Bogger's kick. Put some pressure here on Daniel Tupou. Gagai coming through, gets to him first. A big fend, and now to Desco. Little step, but well handled there by Dylan Lucas, who wraps him up, and the Roosters will begin just outside their own 10. 18 points to 0. And we've had just on 15 minutes of action. They're ahead of the clock. As we said, Nor'easter behind their backs in this first half, but it's still very warm here on the central coast of New South Wales. From Watson, out to Nat Butcher. He's mostly a bench player the second half of the season. Victor Radley took his place out there on that right-hand side for Trent Robinson. Butcher forced to come off the bench for most of the run-in towards the finals. The kick here from Sandon Smith goes down to be taken there by James Schiller, the former Canberra Raider. Solid run as well. He's a tough type, James Schiller, and Angus Crichton certainly is aware of that now. The two of them come together. James says, sorry about that, Gussie, but watch this.
That was good contact, wasn't it, from Schiller? Just getting his head in the wrong position. Crichton, and I dare say he'll probably have to go and have a HIA as well. When you go on the ground like that, backwards, and fall like that, and guess what? He's staying on the field.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you fall to the ground like that and it's obvious there was head contact, I think we're beyond the days, or should have been, that the on-field assessment happens. It should be just straight to the sheds for the full HIA. We'll wait and see if the independent doctor, those in the bunker, have something to say about that contact for Angus Crichton. Seems to be all right at the moment. And they're taking a look at that situation as we speak there on the bench. Here is Ponga, a pass. He was trying to get it out to Dane Gagai, loses it. And then Crichton is there to link up with Nat Butcher. And let off by the Knights. The Roosters have it 15 short of the halfway line to begin this set. And it's Tedesco. Takes it out of dummy half. A set restart here, just beyond the 40, so it's a set restart as opposed to a penalty. Watson comes to Wong, tries to fend away from Dylan Lucas. They take him to ground with the help there of Jacob Saifiti. Nafahu White on the sideline was Trent Robinson, I dare say, off the back of playing for 10 minutes with only 12 men, will ring the forward changes this warm afternoon. Tedesco comes out to Nwanganita Wasi, gets a good ball away. Daniel Tupou, though, hemmed in. Kalen Ponga was out here on the wing, ball ripped out, and it came back to Tupou, and the call is a set restart.
Well, they're getting a bit of run of possession here, which is excellent for the Roosters.
Let's see what they can offer. Down 3 converted tries as we approach the midpoint of this opening half. They go inside the 10. Full set of 6 here to work it from. Watson waits a dummy half. There's Townsend. Butcher on the inside. Sandon Smith outside. Nwanganita Wasi again. The basketball pass over the top. Second one to Tupou in the last 30 seconds. And this one brings up their first try.
The old run of possession, and the Roosters made good of their possession. It was excellent work on that left-hand side of the field. Good passing on the inside, playing nice and square. That's the Roosters' way. Nice passing, all that in front. Crisp hands, all that in front. Nice work there from Marky Mark to get the ball. He didn't try and force the pass here, held on to it, and that's maybe a bit of sevens play from Australia. Throw the dummy and loop it over. That's sevens. It's got sevens written all over it, Warren.
It certainly does, Kevin. Watch this again. He's a big body, as we said, 192 centimetres as a centre. Joseph Swaliti, who was around about the same height, if not taller. Joseph Manu as well. So they've replaced almost like for like as far as height is concerned in their back line, and he might prove a problem on this left-hand side. He's an aerial target as well, certainly can get up, as you know, Daniel Tupou, what a target he is with his height, the big giraffe on the wing, the leading try scorer all time for the foundation club, the Sydney Roosters. 18-4. Now graphics look like they're back in the land of the living.
There we go.
We've had just on 19 minutes of action. Sandon Smith with the goal-kicking duties on the touchline, into the breeze. Not a bad kick. It hangs there, though, on the wing and dies just to the right-hand side. It stays 18 points to 4, Nico.
A nice finish there from Daniel Tupou, Warren, one of the real cornerstones of this Roosters organisation. One club man, he's been at the Tricolours since 2012, and through Origins and Test matches, he's remained at the Bondi Club. And with Jared Waerea-Hargreaves having moved on, he is now the most capped active Rooster. He'll be here until the end of 2026, having signed an extension last year.
Well, several times he's had to prove his worth and stay as a Rooster. It's proved to be a great combination, the club and the player. Now the leading all-time record holder for tries scored, 164 of them in the NRL. Yeah, the contact there is Fahu White. Back out to be stopped by Dane Gagai and high Pierce Paul. Here is Daniel Tupou. 164 tries in 265 games. Best ever season last year, 21 of them in 24 games. An impressive outing on his way to breaking that record. Spencer Leniu, he's good and back on deck, as we heard Nico say, past his HIA, so he's out there again now as the Roosters have it back towards the halfway line. No line speed there as Tedesco saw them pretty stagnant there. Got picked off by Croker, only just working hard from marker. The kick down to Kalen Ponga. Dominic Young. Boy, you could hear the footsteps when he's coming towards you, surely, Kevin.
Well, you could, and he did well there, Ponga. Caught it and then fell backwards, protecting the ball and his ribs. So the Roosters, that try will give them some confidence. 18-4 down, but they haven't had a lot of possession.
Crossland. And here to Dane Gagai, standing in the tackle there of Connor Watson. At their own 30. On the midpoint of this opening half. Last hit out in the pre-season challenge for both clubs before round one. They'll have next weekend off as we get things underway in Vegas. Kick down here to James Tedesco. And then beyond that, the rest of the clubs will have their first hit out second weekend of March. Townsend from dummy half comes across to Sandon Smith, and it's going to be called back here for a roll ball in the play the ball.
Not a roll ball.
By the skipper and fullback.
Well, Tedesco hasn't had a lot of running meters in this game, just 38, but defensively, he's done a lot of work from side to side behind the Roosters' defensive line. Little error there, which won't please the coach.
Well, the referee right on the job there. No attempt, no genuine attempt to get the foot on the ball by James Tedesco. He's sharp. Good ball to Ponga. Best, likewise. Marju for the corner. Well, he went for the big one, but they took him into touch while he was in mid-flight. There was a little diversion there, and he was in a holding pattern.
Well, again, I just mentioned Tedesco and his work at the back. That was a try saver there in the corner. Made up for his mistake. Marzu, when he gets that close to the line, he normally finishes off. Great hands on the inside, and then there he is in the picture, in the frame. Tedesco, what a player.
Comes across and saves a try there. He was, he had visions of planting it down. Marju right in the corner. Had to jump from a long way out and gave the Roosters time to get there. Tedesco in particular. 10 of 12 completions by the Roosters, 11 of 14 from the Knights. 3 tries to 1. Crossland here on Crichton, couldn't wrap him up. And then through Watson to Tedesco, spinning, and a penalty for the high contact by Phoenix Crossland on Angus Crichton.
Yeah, penalty warranted there, and the Knights have just had a little bit of ill discipline when the Roosters are bringing their ball off their line. A couple of penalties and 6 against. In this heat, possession is king.
All the troops on their feet. Brody Jones, Jaden Brayley as well. Not too far away, you'd think, from seeing some action here. The back end of the opening half. Jack Hetherington also going through some stretches. Here is Spencer Leniu trying to stretch the defensive line. One of the question marks over the Roosters this year now with no longer Jared Waerea-Hargreaves to be out there to begin the game. Who fills his role? Leniu and Lindsay Collins have got the first crack at it, but can Spencer Leniu transition from that impact player off the bench to being a player who begins the game and maintains that sort of impact he can bring from the bench?
Yeah, I believe he can.
Here's Butcher stepping past Phoenix Crossland. And now Watson comes to Townsend. They're on the front foot here. Tedesco out to Robert Toya. They did well to round him up. Bradman Best had visions of taking him into touch. He gets to ground just in time. Last play from Young. Back to Townsend, across the uprights. Here's Nwanga, Nitawasi, but Ponga beats him to it. Makes a good grab, wants to bring it back quickly, does so, gives it to Schiller. Gagai on the counter-attack. Great rugby league. Tackle made by Daniel Tupou, probably a try-saver.
Definitely a try-saver. Scrambling well there, the Roosters, and they needed to. Great work from Ponga to put the pressure straight back on the Roosters defensively. And they're back in their half again.
Just outside the 30, Brody Jones playing it there. Now, Hetherington punching it in. Take it just inside the red zone. Jaden Brayley now at dummy half. His Crossland stays out there. Sharp to Cogger. Here's Paul. Taken down around the legs by Nat Butcher. Good tackle there. They're flat on both sides, Newcastle. Cogger goes out the back. Sharp. Oh, there's a collision with Hetherington, who knocked down Spencer Leniu, so Sharp just had to surrender in the tackle. They burn one there. Last play. Brayley finds Cogger. A kick out wide for Schiller versus Tupou. Tupou didn't get it cleanly, and then the moment saved by Nwanga Nitawasi. It took it away from Schiller.
Got no try here, Matty. Just looking to confirm this is knocked dead by the Roosters and there's not a Newcastle knock on the initial contest.
Take a look at this.
Tupou, Newcastle.
Schiller with the hops. I think it was all Tupou to begin with there.
Just looking to determine who touches the ball first.
Don't know that Schiller touched it, so it was play on, if you agree with that statement. And now he had a second crack at it. Good heads-up piece of play by Nwanga Nitawasi, who stayed alive. I think that misses everything there for James Schiller.
That's what they're looking at. They're looking at it.
The left hand of James Schiller touches the ball and the ball travels in a forward direction.
Okay.
We have a decision.
This will be a 20-metre restart for the Roosters. A nice kick right on the money.
Front foot here. Front foot, guys.
Get his hands on it.
Okay, time for
A bit
Kai,
of
front
fortune
foot.
there. The bunker
Go.
saying that there was a fingertip only. I didn't really see a movement of the fingers on that left hand by James Schiller.
I think I could see it from here, Warren. You might have.
Hawkeyes, Kevin, you've always had that. Here is Connor Watson now. Bringing it back towards the halfway line. He'll play it forward to Tedesco. 18 points to 4. 14 remaining in this first half. And Sandon Smith giving it to Angus Crichton, but he was met by a trio of Newcastle defenders. Good line speed there by the Knights. White takes it up towards the 40. Sorted out for a shot on that right-hand side. Tedesco for the moment, favouring this left-hand side. And it's Sandon Smith comes out the back to the full-back. He puts the brakes on. Good work on the inside, though, from those trailing across, including Phoenix Crossland. 2 tackles remaining in this set. Here's the crack back to the right. Townsend, all flat pass there. Hard one to handle for Radley. Had to be a perfect pass, and the timing just wasn't there between the halfback and the edge forward.
Yeah, it just wasn't there, but it was a good shape run there from the Roosters, bringing Radley in the game. That's one of his strengths is the lines that he runs close to the line. Unfortunate there for the Roosters. A bit unfortunate, but the Knights, they're bringing the ball off their line really well. The line speed here of the Roosters needs to increase.
His right-hand side. Pierce ball back to his feet. Got away from Wanganita Wasi. Almost came into your living room there as Gagai finds Cogger, then Crossland. Ponga goes to Sharp. Bradman, Best. Boy, they've got some strike on this left-hand side. Best is away. Back on the inside to Fletcher Sharp. They've got strike power by the bucket load in Newcastle.
Terrific play. Ponga again heavily involved. Bradman Best. Geez, he looked fast there when he got the ball and exploded through the gap. Great play from the Knights. Nice shift again, long shift. Roosters defence just startling, and no. This moment here, Best takes them on straight through, and then Sharp back on the inside. He's a try scorer, 2 for the day for the Knights. And again, the ball movement there, all those passes out in front. This one here, this is the play. Best just said, see you later, buddy. And away he went.
Boy, the speed of Ponga onto the speed of Sharp, and then the speed and the power of this man. What balance he has, Bradman Best. What a sight he is going towards the line there. And then in motion, at almost top speed, he hit Sharp on the chest, back on the inside. Sharp has a double, and you said he scores them in bunches. He grabbed 4 against the Tigers last year. Had another hat-trick playing on the wing as well for those 9 tries in 7 games on the wing in just half a season at the back end of 2024. A player with unlimited potential. From right in front, Kalen Ponga drills one into the scoreboard. 11 minutes out here from half-time, and it's the Knights who lead the Roosters 24 points to 4.
A first half double from Fletcher Sharp. Warren, it might take a bit of getting used to seeing him in the 6 jersey. He had a bit of a mixed day against Parramatta last week, but had some great moments in attack, I thought, set up a try and had some good runs. The halves for Newcastle were a bit unsteady last year, so I imagine Knights fans are hoping they found their long-term number 6 in this kid Fletcher Sharp.
Well, they had any number of combinations. You just pick a number because that's about how many the Knights had. Went from Hastings and Gamble. Cogger was there at different stages. Dennis Crossland played in the halves. Will Price played in the halves. And there was a constant revolving door as far as the 7 and the 6 for Adam O'Brien in 2024. There's still some question marks about the 7. Jack Cogger getting a chance to put his hand up today with that back injury for Tyson Gamble. But I think the 6, any question marks over the 6, well, they've been erased because Fletcher Sharp, he is the 5'8" for some time to come, you'd think, for the Newcastle Knights. Pierce Paul here. Back in Roosters territory already. 4 tries on the board, and now Hetherington, charging hard, will take it down 30 metres out. Last tackle from Brayley. Comes back to Cogger, who puts it in the air, tries to weight it to give them a chance to contest it, but they rarely do, as we said earlier on. They were happy there to watch Tupou make the catch.
Yep. Well, they don't really need to contest there, Warren, because they're in control of this game, pinning the Roosters in that corner, making them work off their try line continually in this game. That's why they're, where they are in this game.
Doing it very well. Much improved effort from what we saw just over a week ago against the Parramatta Eels. The full-strength lineup for all clubs this weekend. And the word from the Newcastle Knights before the game was they'll play their stars for an hour or 65 minutes or thereabouts before some of the train and trialists get a chance at the back end of the game. So despite the warm conditions, I'll see plenty of game time here. Sandon Smith, little clothesline there, just a soft one.
Yeah, that's not too bad, that one. Ponga very dangerous coming back to the right side of the field with his footwork. Often gets penalties like that, just slipping up. Nothing too much in it, but certainly a penalty. Well, can they post more points here, the Knights?
Maybe a short price. Here is Connor Watson going back for a breather. Plenty of game time last week in the All-Stars game, and now it is Jack Hetherington. So they begin 40 out from the Roosters line as Brayley goes to Crossland. Just turned Jones underneath while they just punch it down for a bit of field position. Ponga in behind them, talking to Cogger while they go left. And now Crossland finds Dylan Lucas, still going.
He's been strong, Lucas.
He's a real athlete as well, the former outside back. And now Brayley jumps out of dummy half, runs towards Tedesco. Bradley helps him close the door. They're inside the 10. Back to Crossland. Cogger now. Ponga's out the back. Etherington was the first man option. He's not looking out the back towards Ponga. They make a comfortable tackle there on the big forward. Brayley now goes to Cogger, and then he shrugs away from the tackle there of Radley. You don't see that too often. Good kick to Desco with nowhere to go. They've got themselves 6 more tackles.
Yeah, it was nice work from the Newcastle halfback. Just taking the line on, sort of the play not quite working out there. He didn't panic. Nice little grubber, and Tedesco no option but to basically take the ball over the dead ball line. So
Radley's miss gave Cogger the chance, Kemp, to put that kick in to get them the goal line drop out. You don't see Radley one-on-one like that come up empty all that often. Does this one go 10 metres? It doesn't. And so the Knights will get it 10 metres out at any rate to begin this set. That rule was changed before the beginning of the 2024 competition.
could have had it in 23.
And now Cogger comes across here towards the middle. Again, picking up with Lucas. Back to the right-hand side. Pierce Paul, 3-on-3. Ball back on the inside for Gagai. And look towards Crossland. They're all very flat, though, on the left-hand side. So Gagai hangs on to it. They've got tackles up their sleeve, though. Brayley. Once more, Hetherington with Ponga out the back. Just can't get his hands on the ball at the moment inside the 20. They're on top of the line. Hetherington went very close there. Wide ball, it put Cogger under pressure. He got away, though, from Radley once again. He's got Victor Radley's number at the moment, the Newcastle halfback. Now, Brayley out of dummy half. He just paws his way in. Oh, too strong from close range. Jaden Brayley. The pressure really telling on the Roosters line, and they dive in for try number 5.
Yeah, too many missed tackles there on their try line from the Roosters. Eventually pay a price. Standing in the tackle, that's not a good option either. And then Brayley just takes off. That's the second try around the middle of the Roosters defence, close to the try line. That will be annoying Trent Robinson. There's good power. No real support there either, Warren. He just crashed straight through the middle of the Roosters defence. Jake Elliott, the man that couldn't get underneath him.
And O'Brien happy to smile during the first half of a game. In the pre-season, that smile will disappear once we get to round 1. You need a court order to get him to smile.
Well, he'd have to be happy with his team, and particularly against the Roosters, who he was an assistant at for 3 or 4 years. So, and won premierships there as an assistant coach. This will be a nice little reward for the first half. 28-4, that's pretty dominant.
It's almost what the Roosters haven't recovered from being down to 12 to begin the game. Only 3 minutes in, Spencer Leniu sent to the sin bin. Kalen Ponga here adds 2 more points. It's a big scoreline, and they've got a lot to be concerned about already, albeit again, just the pre-season. You don't want to read too much into things, but it shapes up as very much a transition year for the Roosters, given all the talent they've lost. And we'll be here for half an hour if we go through everybody, but well, they've lost just the heart and soul of their team as far as the forward pack was concerned. And Jared Waerea-Hargreaves, Luke Keary, Manu Swahili, we said that as well. I mean, a lot of players missing and not a lot of players signed. It's going to be the young kids coming through who replenish the stocks if there is to be any changes, any great changes to the lineup in 2025 for the boys from Bondi Junction.
And again, easy meters for the Newcastle forwards. Coming off, well, that's Marzu, but easy yards coming out of their try line, off the kickoffs in particular. That'll be something that they need to address at half-time.
Another chance here before we are done. Still 4 minutes remaining in this opening 40. 26-point lead. It's Cogger. Comes out to Gagai. Steps away from the Wanganita-Wasi. Wrapped up though by Sandon Smith. Here's Ponga on the last. Will kick. We'll see if they can test this one. Here's Paul was there, and he's as tall as Daniel Tupou, but he never looked at the ball there. They're only 10 metres out on a kick, an attacking kick, or what should be an attacking kick. He never looked at the ball once, Kai Pierce-Paul.
No, he's been told to catch the player who catches the ball when he lands on the ground, which he did. It's not so bad. They're not chasing points. They've got to get into half-time. If they can keep the Roosters to just 4 points, that's a great defensive effort from the Knights.
Dominic Young, former Nova Castrian, will play it here 15 short. And now to Desco. Get something going. It's very much one-out stuff. They're tied at the back end of this first half, the Roosters. Sandon Smith with the kick. We'll go down to James Schiller. Saw what he did last time when Angus Crichton was one-on-one with him. Kick return like this. He brings it back more towards the middle. And he'll play it there, 25 short of the halfway line. Marju again. Just dumps it out the back. Here's Ponga. He's got best. And there is trouble here. They go wider still. A chance down that left edge. Lucas was there. He links up with Kalen Ponga. Blinked, and you will miss them.
The mighty Knights are putting the sword to the Roosters. Great play again down that left side. Just how they turn something. Look at this. Marzu's been really strong with his carries. Late offload, and that catches the Roosters' defence. When the ball got into Best's hands, you thought, oh no, trouble here. And then look at the support streaming through there. There's 4 Knights players in the picture and just 1 Roosters. This is a dominant display by the Knights today.
Once the ball came out the back, Ponga realised a little in and away there just to hold up the defence coming across of Siwa Wong, and also the man on the right-hand side who couldn't get to him. And then, well, once Kalen Ponga loomed up, well, they're red, white and blue Newcastle jumpers, that is, everywhere. And Ponga strolled out to score. Try number 6 for the Knights in this opening half.
Yeah, well, coming here, Warren, we thought this might have been a bit tougher the game, tighter, but 34-4 with a minute to go in the first half indicates a really dominant display from the Knights, and it has been. I know they've got a really strong breeze at their back, but the Roosters 15 missed tackles to 5 to the Knights. Their possession's been okay, but they just haven't been able to tackle appropriately.
It's like the Roosters are playing in first gear, and the Knights are moving up in top gear. Ponga again. All his kicks have been pretty much from right in front. We've got just on a minute remaining. It's 36 points to 4, and Adam O'Brien says, I'm going to get downstairs and tell the boys, just keep doing what you're doing. It'll be a very short half-time speech. What's it like, Kev, as a coach in situations like this where your team's doing everything you want them to do in the first half? Well, it really happens to this extent, quite obviously, but what do you say to them at half-time?
Well, you just got to maintain, you know, the rage as such, but it's hard. It's hard. Players come in, they get relaxed and they think about the scoreboard, they think how well they're going, and all of a sudden maybe the intensity may drop. But Adam O'Brien will drive it home. This is a good position for the Knights to be in.
Wanganita-Wasi flying for it, trying to punt it backwards. And he touched it on its way out of play. And the Knights will have it here to begin. A little trick shot maybe with 30 seconds remaining or thereabouts. Another switch out of that left-hand side to give Ponga and Sharp and Best and Marju a chance.
It's been where the action is, isn't it? Over one on that left-hand side. Here they go again.
I'd die wondering. Sharp, using after Dylan Lucas, who played a nice role. He was just coasting back there as they worked it away from their own end, and suddenly he was reprising a former outside back role as he was coming through the lower grades to link up with Kalen Ponga. Over here. With one more play remaining, got it in just before the halftime siren. Kalen Ponga says, hey boys, that'll do us. We've got 6 tries, we've only given up the 1. We'll take a break and come back out to do it again in the second half. At halftime here in Gosford, what a scoreline. The Newcastle Knights, they lead the Sydney Roosters 36 points to 4.
Big second half required here from the Roosters.
It's Caitlin Ponga who gets us back underway. Brilliant sunshine still shining down. Very warm over there on the eastern side, so most of the fans here in Gosford on the western side enjoying the shade and a cool drink while they watch these two teams go around. Well, the Knights have picked up from where they left off. Here's Nafahu White being driven some 5 or 6 metres backwards, and there was too much of that for the Roosters' liking and Trent Robinson's liking in that first 40. Do better against this Newcastle pack and get something going from their own end to give both Chad Townsend, Sandon Smith something to work with off the back of it. Spencer Leniu, sin binned in the 3rd minute of the game. The Knights put on a couple of tries while he was missing, and they just kept on from that moment on. Sandon Smith, or rather Jake Elliott, out there at dummy half, a kick. Again, Chad Townsend's had a tough afternoon with his general play kicking. This one into the Newcastle Knights. Young brings it back. He'll be stopped there, and they get a new set of 6 played at, says the referee, by the Knights. Sandon Smith, a little juggle from Crichton, got a hold of it just in time, flings it out the back there for Butcher. Gagai stays alive, and then Butcher finds Radley. He starts heading towards Brisbane Water in the southern end of this stadium. And it's in direction. White trying to provide that, and another set restart here. They're just outside the 30. Elliott from dummy half goes to Butcher. Then across to Sandon Smith is Angus Crichton. Stop him inside the red zone. They've got a big back line set back to the right-hand side. They go short, though, with Tedesco. Skipping back to the open now, still stepping Teddy. Ends up being wrapped up there. Thomas Cant is there to stop him 10 metres out. Midway through the set, it's Smith. Finds Nafahu White, who's keen for work. Doesn't put much of a dent in him this time as it comes back again from Elliott through Sandon Smith. Tedesco is there. Gagai got a hand to it and knocked it forward in the process. Did well, though, to stop it because it's looking promising there for the Roosters on that left edge.
Yeah, it was. Good defence from Gagai, getting in between the pass, and he a little bit unlucky there, maybe that might have gone backwards, but Roosters possession on the scrum. Let's see what they got from this scrum. Tedesco, the man for mine.
Let's go 10 seconds. Boys.
Can't do it by himself, though. He needs support.
Nice and
They play a bit straight of the Roosters. They're a little bit sideways.
Kalen.
He's behind the scrum at the moment.
Okay, stay there, hold there. Break.
Saw some nice work. The teams off scrum wins yesterday for tries. The Brisbane Broncos amongst them as the Roosters begin here, just 10 metres out from the line. Jake Elliott, normally a halfback, playing in there at dummy half at the moment. The Roosters have Benaya Yaelu, who played most of the game last week against the Dragons, waiting on the bench for his chance. Now Townsend, Tedesco charging hard. Toya, he was thinking about getting into Dominic Young. And it's going to be a penalty against the Newcastle Knights. Peter Goff says they were too quick off their line, Newcastle. So the Roosters will hang on to it with another set of 6 coming up.
That's the space to attack down this right side. Just straighten up their attack a little bit. Get at Fletcher Sharp. He hasn't played a lot in the 6-jumper and defended a lot in the 6-jumper. So
on the other side for the moment, Sandon Smith, Angus Crichton, well handled there by Kai Pearce-Paul, and it seems to be rather laboured, doesn't it, for the Roosters? He was standing there looking for an option, Crichton, but nobody really moving around him. One ball to White, 2 steps. I'm under pressure there, only about a metre out when he plays it eventually. Comes back from Elliott. Brandon Smith here handing it off to Angus Crichton. Again, just gets those bumpers up. Nothing doing. It's just a bring it back to the middle type of play while they get themselves set. Now on the right-hand side, Butcher, Townsend. Here's to Desco. Passes to nobody. In fact, he passes to Bradman Best.
Yeah, even James Tedesco just getting frustrated there, trying to create opportunities and lost possession of the ball.
The ball comes free here from the carry of Greg Marju. Quickly swing it out through Leo Thompson down to that right-hand side. Gagai immediately set up on there by Nawangani Tawasi and Spencer Lenu. It was hard to see what the Roosters were working towards, if anything, in those possessions. They liked to, Trent Robinson loves to talk about the flow and the quick play of the balls. Yeah. The set of 6 almost being like one continuous play. Well, we saw none of that in those last couple of minutes there when they had a big chance inside the 20.
Well, they couldn't generate ruck speed. That's what you need close to the line. And their forwards weren't able to provide that.
And the Knights hang on. Good defence from them all the same as Camp plays it here. Cogger, the kick down towards Daniel Tupou. No real changes from the side that finished the half for the Roosters to begin this second half. And Tedesco's done well there.
He didn't need that from his wingman. He's done a lot of work, Tedesco, and you need those passes straight on the chest.
Well, they look rusty, don't they?
Yeah.
And it is the pre-season, so that's what it's all about. Try and knock off the ring rust. But boy, they're out of sorts here through now almost 50 minutes of play. Dominic Young really enjoying this against his old club. 10 short of the halfway line. Second straight year these two sides have met in the pre-season. Here in Gosford, Nawangani Tawasi. Gagai gets a hold of him. And finds the ground marky mark just in time. Tupou from dummy half. Comes back to Smith. Puts the kick in. Ponga going back. Makes the catch just in the field of play. He's got Marju back there with him. Also back there is Best, and he's gone straight between everybody. He beat Toya point blank. There's Newcastle jumpers everywhere. And Kalen Ponga bombs the try of bomb tries. He maybe had too many options.
He did.
Come through Cogger. Away to Gagai. One player to beat. There was 5 players there. Somehow he got tackled. Cannot believe it. Here's Cant, who just work it towards the uprights. And just inside the 10, Bradman Best coming from the field. Looks to be a bit tired of nothing else. And now a chance. McCarthy cleans it up, still going, beating defenders. Victor Radley looks tired on that chase back inside their own 20 from Brayley. Comes back to Leo Thompson. He just drops the shoulder into the defence there of Spencer Lenu, and Newcastle have one more. Kick it through Cogger. They come down short of the goal line. Let Daniel Tupou make that catch. Can't drag him back. And in fact, they're inside the 10 and offside as well to boot.
Well, Kalen Ponga has muffed one there. Look at the initial work from his own try line to just get on the outside of the Roosters' defence, straightened up, and away he goes. And he just couldn't find a Newcastle player. They were inside, they were outside. And Tedesco, to be fair, did a great job positioning him, which confused Ponga and confused his teammates. But he really gets them wrong, Ponga. What a player.
Well, he had Best, he had Lucas, he had Brayley. There was somebody on the outside of Brayley as well. Only had to pass, and they were going to moonwalk their way in for a try.
Move now, Jacob Square.
Bradman Best looks to be okay on the sideline. He's just a bit gassed.
That is good. I dare say, given his issues, hamstrings last year, again, he's been troubled by leg injuries for much of his career. When he strings games together, as we've seen at Origin level as well now, twice in game 3s for New South Wales in the preceding 2 years. And what a damaging player he is. Sandon Smith comes to Tedesco, sharp under pressure there, did well to maintain his place in the line. Got some help from Thomas Cant. Short side raid. Sandon Smith sees there's nothing doing. Back to Teddy, who runs towards Kalen Ponga. The two superstars come together there. Only a metre out from Elliott. It's Smith Kicks across the field. Pretty poor one there. Boy, their kicking has left a lot to be desired here today. And Wonganita-Wasi stepping, beating 2, make it 3, a 4th, and then he tried to put a kick in. Maybe he should have just kept running.
Well, he's got it back. Fortunately, little knock on there from the Knights play. I'm just trying to see who it was. Yeah, challenge this Knights.
All right, Matty. Captain's challenge. Newcastle challenged the on-field decision of Newcastle knock-on.
Well, he certainly got a boot to the ball here to Wonganita-Wasi. It was ungainly, but he certainly kicked it before it hits the deck.
Does he?
Mark Wonganita-Wasi, he kicks the ball first. There is no knock-on by Newcastle. The ball then comes off, the Roosters, sorry. The ball then comes off Jaden Brayley's arm, which is looking at a direction.
Like he went forward, he might not have cleaned it up anyway. The second attempt. Yeah. 36 points to 4, and given it's the final day of the pre-season, I'm happy to say just
ball
knock
travels
on and let's
backwards off Jaden Brayley.
On.
And then the ball is knocked on the ground by Jaden Brayley. Sure. The challenge by Newcastle was unsuccessful.
Sure, the players are enjoying a rest. Newcastle in particular, they've got to defend this set of 6. Well, they came right on the last scrum they had the Roosters. See where they go here.
Again, Sandon Smith and James Tedesco. And I guess what you would say in NFL terms, an I formation right behind the scrum. They come out to the right. Smith and Tedesco on the sweep. Here's Young, one-on-one. He's hard to stop. Did he get it down before he lost it? Or in fact, did he lose it backwards? It looked like it was a knock-on top of the try line if it came free before the ball hit the deck. And that's what the referee says.
So your eyes have improved in the second half, Warren. That's
Thank
good,
you,
mate.
Kev. Quick trip down to Specsavers here in Gosford.
Righto, yeah. He showed great strength here, didn't he?
We're just going back to look at the lead-in on the play. Okay.
And there's a little bit of work done on the inside. That's fine there. Good tip on from Tedesco.
The Roosters play gets through the first line of defence, so we're playing on. There's no interruption to the defensive line inside. Now moving on to grounding.
This is the all-important point right here. Oh, the ball comes down, still in the grip there.
Just looking to
Dominic
see
Young.
where the ball goes down.
Well, the Roosters don't go anywhere. They believe it's a try. Yeah, he's lost that, hasn't he? Didn't even get to the line.
He still had it from the angle we saw a moment ago,
Just
but I
looking
think
at
it
all
was
available
short of
camera
the
angles to see
line.
if the ball gets to the try line.
So Kyle McCarthy here, his leg helping to stop Young putting it down on the line, and then it comes free.
Based on the on-field decision of the ball being short and knock on, we're supporting the live decision.
No try.
No try.
Specsavers, Kev, recommend them highly.
Yes.
Pitching up to be an ambassador for them in 2025.
Well, you're going well so far, mate.
Thank you, mate. Glad to be back in the commentary box with you as we watch this incredible scoreline. 36 points to 4. Trent Robinson. Well, as we said in the first half, something of a transition year perhaps. I mean, that's not the way they're approaching it, but in realistic terms, it would be a massive surprise given the talent and the experience and the skill that the Roosters have lost from last year to this, if they were a top 4 team once again.
Well, it's early days, so let's give them a bit of time to... Normally after the first 6, 7, 8 weeks, you get a good grasp on the better teams and how everyone's travelling, so we haven't even played round 1 yet.
No, very true. Sam Walker, saw him. Brandon Smith also waiting chance mid-season or beyond mid-season before the two of them are back from their ACL reconstructions towards the back end of last year. Kalen Ponga standing, taken down there by Robert Toya. Don't forget, we're building up to next Sunday. It's only 7 sleeps now before we will kick off the season In real terms, in Las Vegas, 4 games coming your way, 10 hours of rugby league. It's going to be an absolute festival. You were there last year to enjoy it in person, the Broncos. Kev, any tips for the 4 coaches from the NRL as far as what they can expect, and then how, I guess more importantly, to approach the recovery and the return to get yourselves ready for the weeks afterwards once you get back to Australia?
Yeah, plenty to take on board with Vegas, but it is a great experience for everyone. Players, staff, fans, the NRL people. We lost the game last year, obviously, against the Roosters, but the experience was wonderful. It's hard to win in Vegas. That's my final word. It is hard to win in Vegas.
It's hard to beat the house. Numbers are in their favour. Here's Tedesco. Always been good at counting numbers. Back into Newcastle territory. Sandon Smith puts it in the air. Lindsay Collins is back out there. Kalen Ponga with the catch, doing some stepping again. Boy, every time he gets the ball, fans are out of their seats expecting something like they saw last time from his own. He's Schiller.
He's already got 147 run metres on the clock, doing a lot of work, and Tedesco is as well. Both fullbacks in the game on every play. Great to see.
So given they have almost fortnight to recover, Newcastle Knights off the back of this game, Adam O'Brien was planning to play at least 60 to 65 minutes for most of his stars here. Bit of an early mark for Bradman Best, as we saw. And Leo Thompson on a set restart. Gets things rolling for Newcastle. No change to our halftime scoreline. We've had almost 53 minutes of action here in Gosford. Storm and Cowboys from Casey Field down there in Victoria. They are next in the final hit out of the pre-season. Sharp. Now Lucas off the left foot. Runs towards Collins. They'll shut him down with Chad Townsend. Brayley out of dummy half. Thomas Cairns stepping, and again the Roosters have cracked in the middle there, right underneath the uprights. Nice stepping and a put down by Thomas Cant.
Yeah, Thomas Cant can score tries. I can tell you so much there, Warren. Great work again from the Knights, just shifting the ball from edge to edge and then opened up some space through the middle. Jaden Brayley, the second time he's been able to create some brilliant work around that dummy half, just coming out, engaging defenders. And that's a nice try. Good line that the young fella ran. To crash over again next to the post and through the middle of the Roosters defence. So that won't be pleasing Coach Trent Robinson at all, that one. Lindsay Collins comes in to try and get his hands under the ball. Will stop the try in some way, but it was all too late. And the young fella's pretty happy about it as well.
Why not? Got a chance in the NRL back in round 19 last year. It was all hands to all the Newcastle Knights with injury, so he played at left centre. But he's an edge forward, as you can see here today. And then he got a couple more chances against the Panthers and the Titans to come off the bench in the role that he's fielded here this afternoon against the Roosters. Looks a likely type as well. So again, Kalen Ponga from right in front of the uprights makes it 42 points to 4. And if the Roosters don't muscle up, this could get a little bit embarrassing. Albeit, again, it is just the pre-season, but this wasn't on the cards when Trent Robinson and the Sydney Siders appeared here in Gosford this afternoon.
No, it's not. And they'll need to finish off this 25 minutes left in this second half on a positive, get something out of the game, but I'm not sure where it's going to come from. Warren. Tedesco's been very energetic, but not too many others.
Sport is all about confidence, quite obviously. Here's a kick that goes too deep. Well, they're ticking all the boxes now as far as the mistakes are concerned. The Roosters. Fletcher Sharp, good heads-up play there, just adding to his reputation of somebody of some footballing IQ. Nice play to give the Knights a chance to begin here from the halfway line. And while it is only the pre-season, a scoreline like this could really rock the Roosters' confidence, given all the changes from last season to this, and they would have liked a pretty solid performance at some stage, either last week or this week, just to say, okay, well, we've lost some players, but everything's still okay. No need to get too panicked, but something like this would incite a bit of panic ahead of round 1. Given they take on the Broncos in that opener, after what the Broncos have done through the first couple of weeks themselves in the pre-season. Brodie Jones rolls inside the 20. Jaden Brayley here at dummy half. Sharp heads out to that open side. Throws nice balls as well. All his passes on the chest there of Cogger. Now Pierce Paul playing it. Back from Brayley. Thompson, Cogger, Sharp. Had to reach for that one. McCarthy stepping back on the inside. He beat Radley, but there was cover there to stop him. They've got one more play. Comes back to Cogger. Now Kalen Ponga, they just keep throwing weapons at them. Standing there, nothing doing. Ponga takes the tackle. Good defence by Connor Watson, who's back on deck, and also Angus Crichton.
Yeah, it was good defence from the Roosters, sliding from the inside and shutting down Ponga. This Cole McCarthy looks to be a good young player. Some of his carries and his defence in this game. He's only been on there for a short period, but some classy touches and some classy runs from him.
He made his debut back in round 24 last year against the Sharks, playing where he is this afternoon at left centre. Well, they've got speed on the edges. Power as well in Marju and also James Schiller. The Roosters work it forward here. So playing through Celessi for Keddy. Little forward out there now, the hour mark or thereabouts. Connor Watson, nice metres. Tedesco at dummy half. But they're flat on this right-hand side. Townsend's kick. Young pushing through. Catch to be made there. Another change made with Logan Aoki fresh on the field, slipping onto the left wing in that set of 6. And now McCarthy. And Lindsay Collins, visions there of putting a big imprint on the young outside back's chest.
Well, he's doing that, doubling up there, Collins. That's good leadership from Collins, trying to lead the way in defence, get some energy in their collisions.
I guess having been the understudy until recent times under Jared Wairua-Hargreaves, it is very much now on Lindsay Collins to set the tone in the middle of the field. Kalen Ponga and Fletcher Sharp both come from the field. A little handshake between them, and with good reason. A kick here, a shallow one to Wanganita-Wasi, hands off to Tupou, and the Roosters force the issue there to get the ball at the halfway line. We'll see if they've got anything in the tank here to try and put something on in attack.
Well, they've got the breeze at their back. And they need to use the breeze with some hard running, quick play the balls, generate some ruck speed. It's all sideways here from the Roosters. Passes not hitting the mark. Just lacking a bit of confidence at the moment. Victor Radley leaves the field.
3 tackles gone. They've barely picked up 3 or 4 metres so far in this set. Rob Toyer. Precious few chances to show what he can do with the ball to this point as Watson goes wide back through the middle. They keep it going. And now to Desco. Wanganita-Wasi holds it up. It just gave the defence a chance to slide there, and they were on top of Tupou when it came to him. He was hit after the pass there, Mark Wanganita-Wasi. Just on the ground feeling the effects of that tackle, and this is why we have the whistle blown and a penalty coming up for the Roosters. Dane Gagai, not a lot in that. Have a dim view of contact like that these days, Kev.
Yeah, it's Pedley.
Townsend to Desco. Away there. Another change made by the Newcastle Knights. Will Price on deck, involved in that tackle. Some starting time in the halves, second half of last year, as Adam O'Brien looked for answers in that 6 and 7 combination. Now the set restart here for the Roosters. Watson back to Tedesco. Plenty defence on this right-hand side as the Roosters look at it. So Tedesco went back towards the middle. Really had a combination with anybody on the ground today. Tedesco. Here's Sandon Smith. That's right. A couple of good fends there. He put Thomas Can on the seat of his pants. Comes back to Connor Watson. And as close as they've been for a long time to scoring since Young almost got the ball down. They get across the line here, but they'll be held up.
Take your time there. 10 metres out.
Right, and having a dip from close range.
Yeah.
No cigar.
Strong defence from the Knights. They're picking them off at the moment. Working together, shutting the ball down. Good to see.
Now Smith just holding it up to Desco. A delayed pass. It comes to Young, and he still can't get the ball down. That is good defence by this makeshift left edge suddenly. Peter Goff wants to take a look at it to make sure
Look at that possible obstruction
he
first.
didn't get it down, and also
the
the
goal by
possibility of an obstruction back in field. But watch this defence to wrap up Dominic Young, who you'd have thought from that range was almost unstoppable.
Yeah, well, normally, but there's a flat Newcastle line of defence. Might be a penalty. Does he take him out there?
Runs to him. He doesn't certainly get to the inside shoulder, does he?
Catches it on the inside of the lead runner.
Borrow those spec savers, Warren.
We've got a spare pair in the bag for you, Kev. Seeing him there.
James Tedesco catches it on the inside of the lead runner and runs on the outside. This is a
penalty not.
defensive line. We have a decision.
Don't worry about the end. Penalty Knights here.
The obstruction rule has been tweaked somewhat for 2025 to stop players trying to milk contact coming across in defence and actually bumping into players and throwing themselves on the ground to appeal for a penalty, and in the end denying teams tries. But the NRL is also going to look at those lead runners and just how far they are in front of the man with the ball. If you're in front of the man with the ball, catching it there in the instance of Tedesco, as Toya was, you're pretty much out of play. And if you bump into a defender, then you'll cost your team a try. So a bit of leniency given to the attacking team, but also it goes both ways. Brodie Jones here, back at the halfway line. There's Croker. Down there. Tackle made by Celesi Fiketti. Now Cogger. Well, quickly, Sandon Smith has a bit of a door half open there. They recovered in time to stop him. Kick here from Will Price. Go down to James Tedesco, who is still out there at the back end of the game.
He's done a lot of work, Tedesco, hasn't he? Trying everything, but just can't seem to rally the Roosters' attack.
We've got options still waiting on the bench, the Roosters, but Trent Robinson, I think, given the scoreline, the senior players might be getting a bit more game time than anticipated before kickoff, given the way things have worked out here. He just wants to see something gel between his team under pressure. As Angus Crichton takes a breather, and I dare say his day is done now. Sandon Smith out there. Max McCarthy has taken over from Crichton on that left-hand side of the field. He'll play it there at the halfway line. Now Townsend under pressure again. Pushing out was Pierce Paul, who almost got to him as he put the kick in.
Yeah, he's had trouble all day with his kicks. Townsend trying to get them away. He's been under pressure and slow play the balls, enabling the kick pressure to get even closer to his kick. Charge it down. Tough day out for Chad.
Brodie Jones. Play it back at the halfway line. Midway through this set. Sun's still beaming down here on a very warm afternoon in Gosford. Newcastle fans made their way down the freeway, loving what they're seeing and expectations rising. The back of a listless effort against the Parramatta Eels. They were comprehensively outplayed by a less experienced team, but with the big boys back today, Newcastle looked a different outfit, haven't they? And now Young, with a catch in the corner, finds Tedesco. They'll bring it back and they'll stop him here, 10 out from his own line.
Well, they need to roll the sleeves up here, the Roosters, and get some strong carries. They're outside men. Put your hand up and take some carries. Give your middle forwards a rest here. Dom Young's lining up. And they get the penalty. Yeah, it's good. Bit of action and fight in the tackle. Bit of energy there. I think he's cramping up, the young fella.
When it's like this, Kev, I guess you're just looking to win, just get small victories, and obviously the first of them is every play is a little battle in itself, and just try and win some collisions and get those quick play the balls to get something going. But it's a physical game. You've got to win the physicality of it.
You certainly do. That ruck area is very important. Tedesco's got a spell. He well-earned rest.
Front foot, hold it, hold. Go.
Collins works it forward. Boy, talking of physicality. Good shot there by Jack Hetherington. Lindsay Collins looks up towards the touch judge and says, "Sir, did you see what he did to me on the ground?" Forget that, what he did to him while they're on their feet.
Yeah.
What a shot. Now McCarthy again on that left-hand side. We'll play it here as Watson finds Sandon Smith with fingertip control there. Pressure here on Ethan King, who's fresh on the field. Fullback, he got a taste of first grade in the game last year. And a lot of fullback last week against the Dragons in that beaten outfit. Watson. As Townsend puts it up again. Here's Dominic Young will do it over Fletcher Hunt in the fullback role. Taken by Dominic Young. A fair bit of hair between the two of them there. Lovely mullet from Fletcher Hunt.
Beautiful mullet.
It's a Fletcher thing between he and Fletcher Sharp in Newcastle as far as the mullets are concerned. That's an absolute cracker. I mean, Warwick Kappa reach your heart out if you're of the vintage to remember the great Sydney Swans full forward. Now James Schiller, another change made. Jaden Brayley's afternoon might be over. And out the back there as they made a change as they work it away from their own end. This right-hand side, the kick from Price. Got plenty on it as well. That was penetrating into the breeze. As the Roosters have had, you wouldn't know it, they've had the breeze at their backs in their second half. It's strengthened as the afternoon has gone on. King bringing it back. And we'll play it here for Chad Townsend as Dominic Young comes in for a carry. With the numbers in tackles and their line speed has probably been as impressive as what they've done with the ball this afternoon. Adam O'Brien would be delighted with their defensive work. Phoenix Crossland is back out there now. That was the change made with Brayley coming off. Crossland back on deck. Watson. He finds Sandon Smith, puts a step on. He left Will Price there in his wake. Has he got a cramp here?
I think he's just cramping there.
Boys, bring it to the side, Chad. Just bring it to the side.
Out there all game has Sandon Smith.
Play the ball over here. Play the ball here.
I guess there's lots of question marks hanging over the Roosters off the back of what we've seen last week at Cogra and again here today in Gosford. But with precious few options, you would imagine it's Townsend and Smith. It'll be the 7 and the 6 to begin the season in round 1 against the Broncos.
Yeah, certainly.
Here is Chad Townsend. They chip it in behind. Fletcher Hunt is there again. A bit of an awkward catch. He was fingers to the sky and then a little bobble as he brought it down.
Well, he's done everything right, the lad, since he's been on. Well positioned as fullback, and here he's lined up for another carry. Lots of enthusiasm. Good to see.
Likewise, Lindsay Collins there off the line very quickly, trying to track down the young fullback. Come through the lower grades at Newcastle.
Here's Tyrone Thompson's first carry. He's a big lad, isn't he?
Right, they're identical, so I mean, thankfully Leo's got the rat's tail. Tyrone doesn't. Tyrone has a tattoo on his right arm and Leo has one on his left arm. That's the best way to try and tell them apart.
Yeah.
We've deduced.
Certainly look alike, don't they? They can play alike. Good pick up for Newcastle.
Given that, of course, that Leo is on the move, headed to the Bulldogs in 2026. Tyrone, scouting reports out of Newcastle tell us perhaps not as quick across the ground. Rugby union background leading up to his linking with the Newcastle Knights. See if they get a chance to play together at some stage in this coming season. Matt Butcher fighting here to take it inside the 30 for the Roosters. 12 out from full time. Watson showing it. Again, very much individual stuff by the Roosters. He takes it inside the 20. Oh, and he lost it there. They had one more play coming up. He says, I hung on to it, sir. Before he disagreed. Stays at 42 points to 4. Something of a low-scoring second half, given we've had just the try apiece since the resumption, and it was 36 points to 4 at the break.
We're on that clock here, guys. Start to form up.
Most of the starting 13 out for the Knights are having a spell in the shade, but it's good to see these younger kids getting up and about and with their opportunity.
You just never know, do you?
No, that's what part of these trials are about, is seeing what your depth is like, and the younger players coming up. Can they handle the step up in grade? And to me, from the Knights today, they all look to be very capable. This fella can't. He can go like a clacker. Look at him go.
Clacker.
Well, he's been involved. Every carry that he does has got energy in the tackles.
It has. And as you said, can't.
He can do it.
See if that nickname catches on. Thomas the Clacker can't. Got my doubts about that, Kev.
I think so too, but it's only the trials, Warren. You've got to test these
Yes,
things.
it is. Well, in all sorts of ways. Kick here from Will Price. Goes in the air. Great to have you back. Good catch by Nwanganutawasi. He's put it down. It's been too long, Kev. 4 years since we've been in the box together.
Yeah, it does seem like a long time. I didn't think I'd be back here this quickly. Anyway.
Funny how things turn out.
It is.
Matty, we've got the Roosters captain's challenge.
Captain's challenge here.
Challenging the on-field decision of a knock-on, saying that there was a tackle in the air prior.
So we've got a bit of a cramp as well to compound things out there. Nwanganutawasi can't get up, boy. Got some springs, hasn't he?
It's highly skilled.
Newcastle player goes forward and drops his shoulder into the
So
legs
much
of
talent.
Mark Nwanganutawasi. The challenge by the Roosters is successful.
Pre-season as well for the boys in the bunker as they get through some of the newer names in the NRL. Always a test for everybody.
And not just the bunker either, Warren.
No, absolutely not. Fair cramp that he's got here as well, the 24-year-old.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of players cramp here from both sides. It's the heat and the intensity of this game taking its toll on the players.
I don't know if that's a bottle full of pickle juice.
That's the pickle juice.
Was that a big thing at Brisbane, the pickle juice?
Well, there was a couple of players that used to continually cramp, particularly early in the season. Tony Staggs was one. He's a known cramper. Reece Walsh, another one.
He's still on the ground here, having that calf muscle worked on. He can't get back on his feet. The next few moments, you'd imagine he wouldn't be taking any risk here. It is the pre-season. They've got a bench full of players there, a chance to get out and show what they can do. So he's still, in fact, he is going to come from the field. He's on one leg, absolutely gone in the background as we watch the live play here. Mark Nwanganutawasi, he was a pirate who'd lost his wooden leg as they went to the sideline. Here is Sandon Smith taking it to the line. On this right-hand side, Ethan King tipping it on. And they play it here through Butcher. Now Smith again, turning it through the hands as they take it forward from Jake Elliott, and then turning another player underneath.
6 more, slow. 6 more. Jack, straight up.
And Fahu White is back on deck here. Zach Docker-Clay there in the 18 jersey from dummy half out on the edge. McCarthy once again, only a metre out. He started set of 6 and again make it 2 in a row. The siren sounds, they get held up. It's been a theme so far in the second half. The Roosters have gone close any number of times.
Yeah, that's 2 or 3 times over the line, but the Knights have managed to get underneath them and hold them up. It's good defence.
He's still down. Mark with the crampy cramp. Now intercept. They're away and running. McCarthy streaming downfield. In fact, it's not Cole McCarthy. It's Vitano. Connor Vitano is out there now, slipped onto the field in the last few moments. Taking over from McCarthy on this left-hand side. Some speed there as well. They've got young outside backs just itching for a chance in Newcastle.
They certainly have, Warren. A good play again, good aggressive play, good aggressive defence from the Newcastle Knights getting up off that try line. You can see they're up over the 10, and that enables the intercept, and then away he goes. Vitano. Not a lot of chase there from the Roosters, but no real reason to, because he was home. Put that down to their defence, Warren. Beautiful work, nice aggressive defence. Loose pass, and they capitalise on it.
two real obvious.
You're right about their outside, the young outside backs. They've got 2 or 3 today that have really shined and stood up.
If we keep going, then
I'll be happy with that, Adam O'Brien.
And their second try of this second half after Thomas Cant scored back in the 55th minute. Connor Vitano grabs another one here as they push up towards the halfway line. Jack Cogg, a little nick just above the left thigh there. Part of the territory.
Yep.
You play rugby league for a living. If you don't like cuts around the eyebrows, you're probably in the wrong business. It's like being a lifeguard allergic to the sun.
Yeah,
Kick.
great speed there from Connor Vitano. Warren, this kid could be anything. Now, we heard Michael Ennis sing his praises on the coverage last week. Only 18 years of age. He's already on a development deal at Newcastle. Had a great 2024. He made his New South Wales Cup debut late in the season and also came off the bench to score a try in the under-19s State of Origin. I can't wait to see what he delivers over the next couple of years.
One of a long list of talented outside backs. As we mentioned, Jackson Hastings is on deck. Played plenty of game time in the New South Wales Cup trial game before this one here this afternoon in very, very hot conditions. It's the longest of walks for Mark Nawonga to Wasi. Let's hope it's nothing more than a cramp.
Yeah.
It would be a disaster for him to have a calf issue, the strain of some nature, but the way they were testing it out, it was all cramp. That's quite a significant one, quite obviously. Billy Smith, with the outside back, still has had just an awful run with injury in all manner of ways. Billy Smith has a hip injury at the moment, denying him a chance to take the field during the pre-season. They'd love him to be fit as far as an option for the Roosters, especially if Nawonga Tawasi has an issue. Last play here for the Roosters. Comes back to Price. Tumbling kick. Not a lot of spin there, but well handled by Ethan King. Brings it back, puts a step on. The Roosters have it just outside their own 20. And we are counting down the days until Las Vegas once again. 4 games, Warrington and Wigan, and the Internationals. And the women's game, of course, Sharks, the Raiders, the Warriors and the Panthers are all over there as we speak, prepping for next Sunday, a marathon Sunday. Kick things off the season proper right here on Fox League. Can't wait for it. It will be absolutely must-see TV from early in the morning all the way through until the final whistle.
I've got my breakfast, lunch and dinner all organised,
All
Warren.
planned?
All planned at home. I won't be moving off the couch. What a day of footy to start the season.
Well, blockbuster viewing last year for us here on Fox League, and I dare say it'll be the same again, if not bigger, in 2025. Now, Crossland from dummy half comes to Jackson Hastings, who began the season last year as the halves partner of Tyson Gamble. It's a short-lived experiment, if you like. And now Fletcher Hunt out here on this left-hand side where McCarthy will play it. 5 metres out from the Roosters line. Crossland once again goes to Price. Cutout ball intercepted here. Here are the Roosters off and running. Can they track down Sandon Smith? I don't think they can. They won't. He's got plenty of toe and a rare moment. A fairly dark afternoon football-wise for the Roosters. Sandon Smith, a big intercept, has their second.
Yeah, nice work from Smith, up in the face. First bit of really aggressive defence we've seen from the Roosters. And he plucked it out of the air. He knew what he was doing. Little shift to the right-hand side from the Knights and he's up in front. He was always going for the intercept and he had the speed, great speed there, to run the 80 metres or so. Get the first try for the Roosters in this second half. Well, they've got some work to do, the Roosters, and that puts them on the scoreboard, but it's so bad this time of the year to get a bit of a wake-up before the season starts and sharpen the pencil. Had a good finish to the year last year, preliminary final against the Storm. Massive changes in the off-season, so...
No, better now to discover that you might be a bit short in some areas of your preparation as opposed to round 1, where it is a real wake-up call and it costs you premiership points.
We've already mentioned they got the Broncos round 1. at home.
See what they can manage. A fortnight between now and then. Trent Robinson is busy poring over the video of this game once they get back to Sydney later today. Right up next, it's the Storm and the Cowboys down there in Victoria at Casey Field. Regular pre-season venue for the Melbourne Storm. They take on the Cowboys. Quality players there. Harry Grant, Tom Dearden, two Queenslanders going head-to-head. Final pre-season hit out on Fox League. Just under 4 remaining here in Gosford. Sand and Smith.
Make sure we're onside here, guys.
Plenty of toe. Now the speed that the outside backs of the Knights have got, they couldn't track him down. Here's Spencer Leniu. Guess the Roosters and Trent Robinson would probably like to go back to the kickoff proper and say, well, let's just get through the first 10 minutes without having somebody sent to the sin bin, because it was all pretty much downhill from there.
Yeah, they scored 3 tries, didn't they? The Knights, when Lena was just sin binned. And that's not a great start to your trial. 12 men. The Kalen Ponga and co.
Jacob Saifidi scored as they put the ball down here. It's for Keddy, who poked his nose through the line. Offload. Yeah, Jacob Saifidi scored a couple of minutes after Leniu was sin bin. Then Fletcher Sharp scored. Loose ball from Tedesco. Marju linked up with the speedy Fletcher Sharp. And then penalty try as well. Saifidi was taken down on suspicion. See the ice going on that calf of Mark Momonga Nitawasi.
The ice cramps? I don't think you do you?
That might be a little more problematic than perhaps we were anticipating. We'll hear more about that in the next 24 hours. Any doubts? He'll be sent for a scan, quite obviously. Here is Price. Goes inside the 20. And 2.5 remaining. It's been the Knights' afternoon. They can have potentially the final say right here. Thomas Cant doing some ball playing in the middle of the field. He can do it all.
He can do it all.
One more tackle. Crossland comes across to Price, takes them on. Little individual effort, nothing doing. And they'll turn it over there. They might be a bit out of their feet as well. Back end of the game, the Newcastle Knights. You mentioned the Roosters. They meet the Broncos in round 1. Newcastle take on the Tigers. In fact, they played the Tigers twice inside the first 7 rounds. So, depending on how you view that, option for the Tigers, who were pretty impressive against Parramatta at Leichhardt on Friday night. Benji Marshall would have taken a fair bit out of that performance.
Real to get dropped into that side as well, among others. I've got high hopes for the Tigers this year, Warren. I know you're secretly a Tigers man.
We all come from somewhere, Kev.
We do.
Now more cramp here. Problem for Keddy, who's back on the ground, seeking some attention, so it seems to be catching in the Roosters outfit. He's back on his feet, though, behind the play. Little chip over the top from Sandon Smith. Oh, Zach Docker-Clay, pretty impressive there. Play on, ball backwards, they say. McCaffey, he grubbers. Now turned around, some pressure on the Knights. And they come up with possession here. And Takamo it is who will play it about a metre or so out from his line.
Yeah, again, turning possession over on the Knights. Well, that's some good energy there in defence from the Roosters. And drop out here. I'll get the final say in this game. I can conjure up a try here. That'll give them a little bit of confidence.
One more crack at them here from close range.
It's long.
Sandon Smith. Hand it off and Spencer Leniu. A little shuffle as he brings it back. Energy sapping afternoon for the forwards from both teams. Just outside the red zone. Roosters will play it there. Now through the hands they go. McCaffey working off a short ball there from Jake Elliott. Looking for a quick one. Comes back to the post. Last play, a kick taken dead by Phoenix Crossland. And that'll do it here in Gosford this afternoon. What a win. Massive scoreline for the Newcastle Knights, who at full time have taken down the Roosters 48 points to 10.